the UFC is starting to take a major turn as we head into the Paramount Plus deal 2026, because Rinat Fakhretdinov getting released by the UFC after his contract finishes up with a record of 6-0-1, having never lost in the UFC, with a record of 25-2-1, having only lost 2 times, and most of those not even being mixed martial arts fights, right? This was an absolute shocker, okay? We could go back and look at Martin Buday, the release of him, another fighter who only had 1 loss in his career, right? Was 7-1-0 in the UFC, fought 8 different times, was already ranked the number 12th fighter in the UFC, and all of a sudden he gets cut. It has not just been about the best fighters in the world anymore, fighting the best against the best. It is now turned into, you have to be able to sell a fight. You have to be able to make the company happy and hope that you're doing everything correctly, even if you're winning these fights and they're close fights, some of them are robberies, whatever, you could still get released, okay? That is how the game is working now, my friends. Now, it's absolutely shocking in 2026 to think about those 2 releases. You could talk about Muhammad and Makayev, right? You could talk about Brian Battle, 2 guys that were, heading to the top. But the UFC cut them short, arguably, to different issues, right? You had the weight miss with Brian Battle several different times. Of course, Dana White is going to get tired of that. Muhammad Makayev acting absolutely ridiculous with Manil Kopp. Dana White said he was tired of it. He didn't really like his style in the first place. Movsar Evloev, being ranked number 1 in the featherweight division for a while now and still not getting a title shot. Arman Tsutsukian, another wrestling style type fighter who is getting punished and still has to wait and sit out while the top 8 fighters in the lightweight division are all competing in matches coming up. It has been absolutely ridiculous, man. When I heard Rinat got released, I'm not going to lie, dude. Win or lose, some of his fights are exciting, okay? I know some of them aren't as exciting, right? Like, maybe the Nicholas Dobby fight all the way until round 3. Maybe round 3 was pretty exciting. But other than that, because Nicholas Dobby almost knocked him out. And other fights out there, like Brian Battle, maybe a lot of people weren't fans of the way Brian Battle lost, the way Rinat beat him. Maybe the UFC was a little pissed off because, he put a stop to Brian Battle when Brian Battle wasn't, as hated and was on the top, was going there. So it's absolutely shocking, my people. And it just, there's a lot of boxing people that have been taking a lot of shots in the UFC. And I feel like this is just adding to it. It makes me think, for the fighters that are going to be signing to TKO and Zuffa Boxing, do they also have to worry about selling themselves and being exciting fighters? Because obviously the UFC is starting to turn into like that. You got to be able to sell. If not, they got guys like Josh Hockett, Gable Stevenson on the come up, Steven Asplin, who are putting on exciting fights. And now they're getting rid of guys that still have great records. Rinat, in my opinion, this is shocking, because you could have got rid of guys like Carlos Leal, who he just beat, who just lost to a 41-year-old Mateus Rebecki, when you'd rather keep guys in the UFC like Alan Fry Jr., who just fought against Pat in the last UFC card at Manil Kopp versus Brandon Royval. You'd rather keep those heavyweights than Martin Buday. This is absolutely shocking, my people. Let me know what you guys think. This is the MMA Boxing Addicts channel, and I'm out.